Hey, good evening, and welcome to Flames, which stands for Fueling Love and Marital Expectations. We want to welcome you to the Marital Toolbox. This evening, I am Octavia, amen, and I am the pastor of Global Evangelistic Ministries. This is part of our marital ministry, and I have some guests with me here on this evening where we're going to chop it up and talk about some things that's pertaining to marriage, and we're going to dig into our toolbox and just pull out some things that can possibly help and just fix some things, okay? Amen. I'm going to let everybody else introduce themselves.
Amen. I'm Pastor Victoria Reed with Fruitful in a Desert Place Ministries.
Hello, everyone. I am Elder Marie Hurd, and I am with Life Changers International Church.
Hello, everyone. I am Pastor Lawana. I am with Cathedral of Deliverance.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Okay. Oh my God, tonight. That's all I got to say is tonight. And so just in case, I know people don't know how we get the topics. Before the radio show happened, I put on my Facebook page, asked everybody some good topics for marital, questions and different things like that that are most common. And so they written on the Facebook page. So what I did is I took all those answers and stuff and I put them like in a bag or like a hat. And so what I do once a week is I just, put my hand in there and I pick one out. So it's not that, it's not that your question is not being picked anything, but I also put on my page too, watch the show because your question could be picked. And also too, you can write on any one of our pages of any suggestions about topics for marriages, and what we'll do is we'll put them in a bag and we'll pick them out as we go along. But last week we talked about has marriage become a thing of the past, and of course we all agreed no
way.
It's how is what you make of it, is how you work it. We all agreed that marriage is work at the end of the day.
Yes, it is.
But tonight we have a spicy topic tonight, and what's going to happen is the first half is with the ladies, and then the second half is going to be with our hubbies. So we're going to get the male perspective. We're going to get the male perspective, because ladies, we got all types of stuff. We wear all types of hats, 10 hats in one. So we're going to get the male perspective. But the topic tonight is, how do you keep marriage spicy after so many years? Like, what do you do? Like,
what do you do?
To keep it hot. To keep it, and of course I believe when a person was talking about spicy, I'm sure they weren't just talking about sex.
Right. Yes.
Because we know that intimacy is not just sex.
That's true. That's true.
Intimacy begins with communication.
That's true.
It starts with communication. It starts with that. If he's on a job, you on a job.
That's
hey,
true.
how you doing? And sometimes are those forget me not. You forget me
right.
not. Y'all remember
right.
that song?
Yeah.
But forget me. Forget me notes.
Yeah.
And it starts with the touch, it may start like this with a touch or something like that. So it's not always sexual, and it's also spending time with each other.
Yes, that's
so,
true.
It's not, so it's not just sex, but the question was, how do you just keep it like spicy? Now, I don't know what their definition of spicy was.
Right.
I don't know how hot and flaming they looking for. This question could have came from a person that was riding the hall when they first started, but then as time went down, it starts dwindling. And the things that I want us to like really reach in and really talk about is, I don't think it's so much so that all the time you lose the spiciness. I think it's just factors that just enter in.
That's true.
You have
life
children,
itself.
you have life, you have job, you have so many things that can factor in. Now, outside of what could really be going on, the hurt,
True,
pain,
true.
abuse, or whatever it could be. But outside of that, in the norm, you know, when you're trying to raise children, when you, like we say, trying to work, and God forbid if you got ministry in there.
Yes,
You know what I'm
yes,
saying? It
yes.
is so much to try to put in
Yes.
there. You know, you got a crying child on your leg, and hubby, you know, honey, you know, he winking, honey, come on, you know, come on. You don't see this child on my leg.
Right.
You trying to cook dinner. You trying to wipe snot.
And you want me to be sexy.
Honey, just be. He
Yes,
winking his
yes.
come on in the room.
Right.
Got the
Right.
string coming.
Right.
It's like, okay, no problem.
You're trying to be a mother of 5 things, and he just wants. And it's not that he's insensitive, because we
Right.
don't think our husbands
Yeah,
is
I don't think so.
insensitive.
I don't
Definitely
think
not.
so.
But you
No.
know, it's not that. But you know, you just like, honey, you don't see me
From a
wiping
woman's point of
snot
view.
from a- you know, I'm
Right.
just trying, and
Right.
so.
Right.
So let's talk about. So how can we keep it spicy? Is it things that we need to do extra? Is it things that come on, dude?
I know with me, I always like little things, you know, like
Right.
every once in a while he'll, you know, leave me a little note, or he'll always kind of feel if I'm going through something. Yeah, at work I'll pick up my phone just to check and see what's going on. And
Right.
it's a text saying I love you
Exactly.
in a
Right.
cute little way,
Right.
and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, that's
Right.
it's like, oh my gosh,
right,
you gotta
right.
save that.
Right.
But it's the little things with me, you know, the roses that will sit in the middle of the table, or and hey, let's go to the movies. And it's just me and him.
Yeah.
You know, it's just the little things that
Yeah.
that flutters the heart.
right.
Well, you know me, I'm not a flower type of person. I'm not the flower type of female, you know. So roses don't, you know, flowers don't always do it for me. But it's the small things that do it for me. Like one day, my husband came home. I don't know if you guys know about Gradelia chocolate
Oh, yes,
with the
yes.
caramel. He know I like any kind of chocolate with caramel in the middle. So he brought me like 5 little individual Gradelias, and he set them on the side of the bed, on the side of the nightstand. And I was like, oh wow! So that gave me that kick, like, you know? so it's not you know. So it's not just. You know, I respect that. You know, some women love flowers.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But me, you know, and it's also just his presence. Me and my husband, we were talking. Sometimes you have to desire.
Yes.
You have to really desire something. And I use a scenario with my husband. I said, listen, because we know what Genesis 3:16 says. You know what I'm saying? That a wife is to desire
Right.
after
That's what
her
he said.
husband. That's
Yes.
Genesis
He
3:16,
did it. Yes.
you know.
Right.
So God orchestrated it like this. And I had to remind my husband, I said, you know what? It's the things. Think about a piece of food. If you want some pizza, I love pizza. So if you want pizza, but then you can't really get that pizza, you got to go to the fast food restaurant and get a hamburger, you're not really satisfied because your taste is desiring after that pizza. So I don't just look at my husband as a piece of food. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, hold on.
A piece of
You know, I do call him my smorgasbord. You know, so he's my smorgasbord. So therefore, because of that, everything is on that platter for me. So I desire him as everything for me. So I mean, I can desire him in the daytime. Here, my husband have to be at work at 6 o'clock in the morning. My mind get to going, get to desiring. By the time he come home, it's not about, like you said, always just sex. It's just when he walk in the door, like, dang, he home. You know, but you have to desire after that thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't just like it and put it in the corner,
Right.
and I get back to it.
Right.
That's not what that spice is.
right.
That spice is desiring that season that
Right.
you want.
Yes. Right.
So it's-
What'd you say, Marie?
Well, in most cases, women are emotional,
Yes.
and men are seers and
They-
fillers.
Yeah,
Yes, they are
exactly.
very visual.
So
Exactly.
you do have to give them something to look
Yes,
at.
you
That's
do.
what,
Oh,
what
yeah.
you say.
You know,
do.
even after the
Yes,
baby
you
done
do.
snotted all over
Yes,
your
you
lap
do.
and all that kind of stuff. After you peel off the snotty clothes, you might need to have something else up under there.
You better stop
To
and
have
see.
him
He's
look at
still looking for
something.
lingerie.
What you say? Oh wait, no, not just lingerie. A lot of them look for the birthday suit.
That's
Right.
That's
Oh,
true.
okay.
That's
All right.
true.
Okay.
Right.
My husband, like you said, you got to know the love language.
That's right.
And my husband knows exactly what to do for me. me.
Right.
See,
So, like
see,
you said, he'll leave little texts.
that's it.
He might, even if he leave one little Hershey kiss by the table,
See, that's what
I
I'm
know
talking
he
about.
thought about me
That's
for
what
that
I'm
day.
talking about.
When I get home at night and he says, "How was your day?" I'll be like, "All right." He'll go, "No, Marie, how was your day?"
Right.
He's concerned.
Yes.
That
Genuinely,
concern for me.
yes.
That's a little spice for me.
Right.
I know that's
Concerned
right. I know
about
that's
Right.
right.
and
That's
to have
right.
somebody that's concerned about your well-being
That's it.
and how you really feel for that day, it just does
Yeah.
something
Right,
to me.
right.
You know? Now we do a whole lot of other little stuff.
Yeah.
We play hide and seek.
Right.
Okay.
We dance.
All right.
We do.
Yes,
Exactly.
He might, yeah. He might come home. He might come home and might not find me.
Right.
Your hands on.
Right.
Your hands on.
Right. I have adult children, so right now my adult children help play a part
Okay.
in our romance.
Okay.
So they'll leave stuff on the bed. Try this.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Right.
like, oh,
Wow, the
Right,
adult
right.
And we
is involved.
definitely make sure that we have date night.
That's it.
And my kids
Yeah.
Oh my
do
God,
not.
yes.
My kids
so
fun date night.
important.
They make sure they don't call on date nights. And if we don't, and it's not necessary, you might not have the money. Let's be real. We might not
Tell
have
the
the
truth.
money.
That's
Right.
it. Tell the
But
truth.
if we got a half a tank of gas, we got a date. Because we
Right.
getting in the car and driving.
I know that's
somewhere.
right. I know that's
Right.
right. That's
Music
good.
on.
That's good.
Right.
It's just it's not all about money or going somewhere.
That's
or,
right.
You know, doing this and other. But you got to add a little something.
You
in
got
there
to.
On both
You got
parts.
to.
On both parts.
Yeah.
You know, and that's excellent. And I want to talk about the other side of the spice because, like I said, I wasn't for certain of what they
the spice
meant
was,
was
yeah.
spice. So I'm not sure if it was a spice just in the marriage per se, or it could have been spice in the bedroom.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So all the good things. I like what you said. Visual. Men are
Very visual. They
visual.
are. They are.
You know what I'm saying? So when you asking about how to keep the spice, you know, how do you present yourself?
It's
Right,
simple.
right.
You know what I'm
Simple as-
saying?
He noticed when you get your eyebrows
Yes, he
done.
does. Oh, my
See?
husband,
He noticed when
See?
you get your
He know what I
nails
do
done.
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yes, he
Or you
does.
put on a different shade
He
of
does.
lipstick
Yeah,
today.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, they notice that, and sometimes even just a different shade of lipstick might do it for them.
Just might
It
do
might,
it.
that's right.
Like with my husband, he noticed, like you were saying, those little things.
Yeah.
Like okay, let's put it out there.
Put it out there. Go ahead. Go
You
ahead.
know, when I wear a certain type of jeans.
That's it.
I was just gonna say
He's like-
yes, yes,
He said,
yes,
honey.
yes. Exactly.
Get a little pump back there.
Exactly.
Get a little
Exactly.
thick right there. You know,
Exactly.
and with my husband, he likes around here. Like, I got a
Yes.
problem. But he said, oh, babe, no, I like
Oh, you
that.
better see you bringing up
Yeah,
stuff.
I like that, honey. And he
See?
like, oh, and my husband, he is very, he's very sensual. So he's very hands on.
Like
so
to touch,
he
yeah.
likes to
My
touch.
husband
Yes, he is.
loves
That's
to
his.
zip clothes,
Yes.
and fasten shoes, and to me that's a turn on.
Right.
See?
He fastening my
Right.
shoes, and zipping up stuff. I be like, all right, now.
Well, all right, now then, watch out. What you expecting? What you
So
expecting?
when,
Some steak and
when we're
lobster?
talking about that, you know, so when we're talking about that spice, I want to flip it and I want to go into the bedroom.
Okay.
You know,
Okay. Okay.
what spice? We already said one thing, lingerie. What do you think about lingerie? Because I've heard people with mixed views with lingerie.
What's the mixed view?
The
Well,
mixed
yeah.
views that I have heard with lingerie is that certain lingeries that you should not wear in the bedroom. There's certain lingeries that you should not wear.
Well,
Like
the
edible
Bible
panties or something
So,
like
come
that.
on, talk about
I
it.
mean, but
Talk
hold
about it.
on. Well, okay, even
Yes,
with the
I've heard
edible
about-
undergarments,
Yes.
we know that
Children, you
we
should be in
don't-
a bed.
Exactly. Earmuffs in, earmuffs on. Well, I look at it like this. Even with the edible undergarments, there's a certain point you're gonna go to.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll say in my marriage we don't agree with oral.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't,
Right, absolutely
and the Bible
right.
says marriage is honorable and the bed is undefiled.
Right.
But at the same time, those are things that we don't practice in.
Right.
But if I feel like I want to put on some edible undergarments, if they fit me real good, I got a string he can snip off.
You don't care if it's
I got a string he can
Listen,
snip off
listen,
over here.
He
You
visual.
understand?
He don't care whether
What-
he don't care
You
nothing
understand
about
what I'm
that,
saying?
right.
So you got to look at those aspects, like you was talking earlier. Even in the bedroom, I have a problem with my belly, but my
husband have a
husband
problem.
loves my
He
belly.
love it.
Listen, just the
Oh
other
my
day, you
God,
know what he
he
said to
love
me?
it.
I'm sitting on the
Yes.
bed, boo-hooing, boo-hooing.
Yes.
He said, Just like that. And I had to turn around and look this early morning.
Right.
See?
Have I brushed my teeth yet? But this early morning. He said to me, I just love everything about you. I love your stomach. I love your legs. I'm looking like, oh wow, where did this come from? Let's go back to what we know. But he said exactly.
Right.
So see,
That's
those
right.
are things that keep it a lot. Like you said, the bedroom do not always have to be. Let's get under the covers.
Right.
What about pillow talk?
Right.
We talked about that last week.
Pillow talk.
You understand what I'm saying? What about, let me say this one thing.
ahead,
Let me
go
say
ahead.
this one thing. What I love about my bedroom now, okay, we have a flat screen on the wall. What I love about it now is we go into the bedroom and just watch movies together and laugh and laugh and laugh.
right.
So loud to the point my son be in another bedroom. Hey, can y'all quiet that down? But it's like we're kids again. We're dating, you know. So those type of things. Watch movies together.
We do pillow fights.
See,
we wrestle,
those
and,
things,
you know,
right, you know.
I still have a
I
record
like to
player.
beat him up.
I was
and
trying to-
I'll
go
just
ahead.
wrestle him down
That's
and
it.
just
Yes.
start beating up
Right.
on him and
Yes.
stuff like that.
I mean,
and
come
our
on.
daughter would come in, I'm gonna videotape this. I said, okay.
I was trying to pull up this because I had pulled up something on a Song of Solomon.
Oh my God, that's
my
a true
God.
love story.
Yes,
Romance.
I saw that.
Get you.
Yes,
Just in the first chapter, baby.
Look,
Make
Solomon,
you like, hold on.
Solomon will take you out there, but I was trying to pull it up on my phone. I had a passage in there where he was talking about, you know, and like you said, that pillow talk, and
Yes.
and of course, outside of Solomon doing a lot of other stuff, into a whole bunch of stuff, but just in his pillow talk alone, when he
Yes.
talked about her breasts and you know,
Yes,
he talked
laying
about
in
her
the-
thighs,
yes, and you're
he
fair.
laying in
You read
her
Proverbs
Yes.
Solomon,
Oh
you
my
wouldn't know
God!
it was
It's
the
just,
Bible.
it,
You would think it was a
you
love
would think it
story.
was
Well, that's what it is.
poetry,
It is.
you
It
know, of
is.
love or something like that.
Right.
But I want to go back to like in the bedroom, like you was talking, we was talking about the edible pen and stuff like that, and some of the things that you do, like in my, I buy dust powder.
Yeah.
I have.
Yes, exactly.
I have of candied.
The edible warm stuff. Yes.
The dust powder.
Yes, yes,
You know,
yes.
I put on
Oils.
myself. I have my
Yes.
oils. I have all of that. I have
Sensual
certain,
stuff.
I have certain types of lingerie.
and
Oh yes,
sensual.
all of that
Perfumes,
stuff.
yes.
That
I love my
that
fragrances.
was because I know my husband is sensual, and because
Yes.
I know my husband
Yes.
is men of visual, and so it doesn't. You know, to my husband, it really doesn't matter what I put on.
It doesn't.
No,
as
it doesn't.
long
It
as he can
doesn't.
see
My
me
gosh,
in
come
a
on,
way,
come
you know,
on.
that
no
pleases
other-
him.
yes,
You know what I'm
yes.
saying? It pleases him, and you know. So as far as the bedroom, whatever your question was, as far as spicy in the bedroom, sometimes you have to amp it up.
You have
Nobody-
to.
Nobody is
You have
saying
to.
you for you to do nothing crazy and outland. They ain't
Exactly.
telling you to go
It has
have
to
a
be
smorgasbord.
consensual.
Yeah,
No
and
menage
that's what-
a trois. We
right.
ain't talking
We
about those things.
We're not
inviting
adding anybody else.
We
all
talking
types
about
of
those
people.
things.
We're not talking about that. But what pleases your husband? I do what pleases my husband.
He likes
what
the way I
he
change my
like.
clothes.
Exactly.
See?
This my daughter said to me the other day, and I was like, with my mouth hanging over. She said, "I want a husband to look at me the way Mike look at Mama. He just love when she get on her clothes."
See,
That's what
And
I
my
said
husband
too.
does.
See?
Yes,
Exactly. And then you think about, cause I took that for granted.
Exactly.
So when I think about somebody else is noticing him looking at me,
Exactly.
I'm like, okay.
I know that's right.
Yeah, our
And
daughter
you-
be like, it must be nice.
Yes.
It must be nice.
And those type of things right there, you know, like I said, we started early morning. It was just conversation. It had nothing to do with, you know, whatever just happened. It had nothing to do with a sexual part as far as, you know, being intimate that way. It had to do with the intimacy of a conversation. And so that intimacy of a conversation led me that day like, wow,
His
thought about him
words.
all day. Sent him a
right.
text like, hey, just checking on you. Call me, have nothing to talk about on his lunch break, but just call me like, hey, I was just checking in. That type of stuff make you be like, wow, okay, this is
And
really.
it
goes
really
back-
only take you a few seconds to send a text. If you can
That's
text
it.
your girlfriend,
Right.
That's it.
Especially
You
with
can-
texting on
That's
Facebook
it.
all day.
That's it.
God.
Right. But it goes back to what you said, Lawana. It goes back to saying that desire.
That desire.
You. It goes back
That
to that
desire.
desire. It's something that you have to want.
You have
to
to
do.
want it.
And the thing about marriage is we always have to go back to it. It is work.
It's work. It's work.
We're
100%
growing
on both
old.
parts.
Listen, gravity is happening.
what I'm saying.
So when the person asks me the question of spice, I'm like, okay, this can go a lot of
A
ways.
whole lot of ways.
Is it because you're looking at your spouse now? They don't got the 6 packs no more.
That's it,
okay,
right.
You don't got Lola Falana no more.
I know that's right.
I want to hear you don't.
We gotta make them stand up. That's right.
You gotta
That's it.
lift them up.
You have to a couple times.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything's not gonna work.
What you
Everything is
say,
not
come on.
going to
And
work.
you know what? I was
Yeah,
thinking
so-
about what you were saying also too in the bedroom. And like we always speaking about, it's a certain smell that a man like on you.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
You
it
should
is.
know.
Yes, it
Listen,
is.
so this is not all
yeah.
the spices, even just in how you smell. My husband has this. I like to wear body oils because oils last longer. But outside of the oil, he has this perfume that he likes. It's called Lolita Limpinka, and he called that baby. That's that baby. Come here.
That's right.
That's that baby. Come here. He said. So whenever I smell that, I know you saying, "Baby, come here." So that's my point. My point is always being prepared. So spice can go a whole
It could go.
lot
That's
of
what I'm
ways.
saying. I didn't know
Yeah.
like what
Exactly.
actually was the spicy. Was it
Exactly.
because I'm looking at you now? You don't look like you looked 10 years ago.
you're not.
Right.
I'm not turned. Are you not turned
Exactly,
on?
exactly.
You know, I don't know exactly.
It could be
what
so-
the
it could be
spice
so
was.
many
Intimacy
things.
or is it sex? Right.
Right.
I believe it's more intimacy
Yeah,
because,
right.
like
Yeah.
you said, there's so many different levels of intimacy.
Right.
If they're not talking.
Exactly.
Right.
You know,
Communication.
If
And
they-
conversation
if they're-
is
if they're not
important.
going
Open
Yes.
the door.
deep
for
into
it.
Yes.
each other with just talking
Right.
about their day,
Yep.
about how they feel about each other.
Right.
You know, if they're not going anywhere, you
Right,
know,
right.
one spouse wants to go everywhere, but
Right.
the other spouse wants to stay home
That's
and
true.
watch
Yeah,
TV
that's true.
or
That's true.
you know, do something else.
It has to be a balance, you know.
It has to
and,
be.
And spice can also be, like we said, balance. You have to understand that. Listen, I don't care what nobody says. My husband has lost so much weight here lately, and he looked good with the weight on to me. But thank God for health reasons. But now even more that he has lost this weight, he has become more
put a little
desirable
spice.
to
Right.
me.
You
You
put a little
understand what I'm
spice.
saying? So I be looking at him sometime like today, he put them red pants on. I was like, wow, you know. But it's all a mental thing. You have to look at marriage just like you look at anything that's worth listening. Like we talked about last week, climbing the ladder on your
Right.
job.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you want, listen, 20 years plus we've been together, so 20 years in marriage, it didn't all come as a honeymoon. It didn't all come that spice was in
no.
it. The older people say the same thing it took to get him, it's going to take the same thing to keep him.
Right.
And we have to understand that. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing I didn't do. I'm not going to lie. I didn't fix my husband. Well, in the beginning, I fixed his plates. You know, I was trying to get him.
Right.
Got him. But what I did was, I stopped fixing the plates. Hear what I'm saying, ladies. I'm not saying I don't do it now, but I stopped fixing the plates so much because I didn't want him to get adapted to that and enslaved to that to a point to where that's what you better do. So now I'm finding myself making his plates all over again.
Right.
And I'm enjoying making his plates
And
again. You
that's
understand
right.
what I'm saying?
And that's that desire.
Exactly.
The desire that you're talking about. You have to desire it.
Yes.
But it's something funny that you said about the honeymoon. Now, on our honeymoon, the first night, we didn't do nothing.
Yep, exactly.
Let me tell you something. We got married. First of all, it was
Wow.
just all chaos. It was just so
Chaotic,
much.
and you tired.
We missed our flight,
End of
so
the
we
day.
had to wait for the 9:00 flight. And so when we got there, we had everything so romantic and so spicy and everything. I had on my lingerie and everything, and he had on what he had on. And what happened was he I don't know. He was coming out the bathroom. When he found me coming out the bathroom, I was on the bed. And you know what he did? He crawled
exhausting.
right up next to me.
That's it.
And we
Went
both
to sleep.
went
That's it.
to
That's it.
sleep.
That's it.
Honey, when you get in this little spot right here, I love you.
Come on, come on.
Oh,
We
Lord.
both went
I
to
get that little
sleep.
nook.
And it was something else that you said also too. We're 25 years in. So you have to create things.
Yes.
Come on, sis.
You have to put things together.
on.
You know, like sometimes we use rose petals. My husband, he
Yes,
likes petals.
yes.
You know, you can put petals
Yes.
on the bed. You can put petals in a walkway.
Come on, make
Or
his bath
sometimes we
water
have-
sometimes.
Sometimes we
Come
have
on.
candles. You know,
Right.
use these things. Use
Got
rose
to. You
petals.
have
Use
to.
candles.
Yes,
You
you
know,
have
and so,
to.
you know, and I know for so long, I know, and I have to say it. You know, we've been in church for so long, and sometimes sex is such a taboo in a church.
is.
And,
It is.
You know, we
That's-
can't talk
yeah.
about it, and you got
It's
It's
women,
today.
and you got
Sometimes.
men
It's today.
sitting in the house of God, and you know,
It's
you know
today.
they frustrated,
Yep.
they aggravated, and you know they can't really talk to the church because the
Exactly.
church gonna tell you,
Yeah.
you know what, you need to go pray, you need to go fast, you need to go seek God.
Yeah.
No, baby,
You need to go
Let
to
me-
your
go
wife.
relax.
no, let me tell you, no, let me come over and see what's in your lingerie closet.
Exactly, grannies.
Let me see how you start your
Let me
intimate
just look in your
moment.
closet, period.
Listen.
Because sometimes
Right.
the frumpy little clothes that's too big on you,
Right,
or
right, right,
What
right.
do you
fit
look
right,
like when you
that's not
what
gonna
are you
work.
looking like?
Right.
And if you
Listen.
mad all the
Period.
time, you always got a sour
Exactly.
face.
It
You
don't
got
matter
a
what
frown
you
on
got
your
on,
face.
if you mad, like you
you
said,
can
it
have
ain't-
the most beautiful
Yes.
makeup on, your hair
And
done
that's
up
all-
real
yep,
nice.
yep.
But if you got this frown on your face all the time,
And you-
like the world is
Right.
against you,
Yeah.
then okay, that's not appealing to
it's
me.
not right.
You gotta
I
learn
need
that
to come to your
communication
house and
too.
see.
That's
Yes.
Because I might think he won't rose petals or me to stand on my
Right,
head. or
right,
whatever.
right, right.
If I haven't
Just
said to
stand on your
him,
head.
what do you like? I
Right.
could be doing stuff in vain.
Right,
That might
right.
not-
Yeah,
To me,
yes.
the house is clean, the food is
Right.
cooked, the bills is paid. That's what you want.
Right,
You might
right,
not-
right,
you
right,
might
right.
say, I don't care if the lights off as long as you laying next to me.
Right,
You know,
right,
you gotta
exactly.
communicate and find out,
Exactly.
well, what do you want?
Exactly,
out of this,
exactly. And you know
Sex,
one
life,
thing,
marriage, whatever.
right? And you
Right.
know one thing we have to keep in mind. People here, whether you are in God or not in God,
Yes.
please keep in mind that we are human.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
We are human, and guess what? We know this flesh that we should not dwell in it in the spirit, but at the same time, we are still in the flesh. So our flesh desire things. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to understand all of what's going on, whether it's mentally
You
or
know
not.
what else you need to understand?
Hold on, let me say this one last thing. You know, you were just talking about the pulpit and talking about sex in the church. Sometime, let's just keep this thing 100. I'm gonna keep it 100 over here. Sometime my husband get up and be preaching, and I have to bring my mind back
Yes, you
sometimes
do.
because he be up in that pulpit, and I be like,
You gotta bring your mind back.
oh
You
wow,
gotta bring your mind
understand?
back. But
And
what
then
you
he'll
also
look at
have to remember is that he's not Pastor Peter at home.
what you say.
Right.
Come on now. I tell anybody, listen, I know he may be anointed, but I still sleep with the flesh of the man.
for and just to give y'all a side note, the best intimate moments you want to have with your husband if he a preacher right after he preaches.
Yes.
The anointing
Yes.
of God is still on him, is fresh on him. You don't only just get him, but you get the anointing, you get the back, you get everything.
Listen, come on,
And I
so.
just said, you know, this is not a PG station. This is for adults only. Amen. And so, what we're talking about is how to keep marriage spicy after
right.
so many years. Sorry if we're not your conventional marital show where we're constantly quoting scriptures and constantly doing it, but we want to talk about reality,
gotta-
matters
yes,
of the heart.
Yes,
You have so many people sitting and frustrated because they don't.
Yeah.
They've been told
true.
what they're not supposed to do in their
do.
bedroom.
That's
They've been
true.
told don't
That's
wear this. They've been told don't wear the color red said in your book, you can't do this. It has to be a certain way.
Missionary.
It has to be mission.
That's
You
not
have to
true.
be so many different ways. So now you frustrated and then you wonder why he looking at Sister Sally
choir
over there.
director.
Because Sister Sally's
Because
good.
Sister Sally
Sally
is looking
is willing to
good.
do
it.
every
Tell
other
Brother
thing.
Bob is
Come
looking
true.
good.
You know what they
And
say.
not trying to persecute sisters.
No, we're
but-
not
No,
trying
I
to.
know. I
Right.
understand. I know we are
Right.
not, but I just want to make that
Right,
clear.
right.
And if you looking at him, somebody else looking at
Come
him.
on.
Absolutely.
Because
And
somebody
it's
got your
not
same
necessary-
taste.
and it's not necessarily in church.
That's
Right.
it.
So you
That's
better
it.
do what you need to do to
Right,
make
to
it happen
make them
and figure out
happen.
what it takes to make it happen.
Come
Because if you
on.
don't,
Come
Susie,
on.
Jane, LaQuisha, and everybody else will.
To
And
me,
you know
Becky and Sally.
you know what I always tell them? I say, whatever you did to get him,
That's what
you
we
got
do.
to
That's
work
it.
10
That's
times,
it.
1,000 times harder to keep it. It's
That's
not
what
enough.
it is.
It's not for me. It's not enough that I know that my husband is loved. Love is action.
That's
That's
it.
it.
It's
That's
not
it.
enough for him to
That's
tell
it.
me he loved me
That's
every
it.
day and
That's it.
he calls me throughout the day and stuff.
That's it.
No, This is love for
That's
me. This
it.
is
That's
action.
it.
This is action.
That's right.
That's it.
Wherever else is
That's
action.
right. And see, man, you talk about it all the time. Then we always
What we
say,
say?
that's my boo.
That's my boo.
husband.
That's
See,
my boo.
see,
That's
yes.
my
Boyfriend.
man
That's
there.
it. You know what?
And you have to see that.
have
you
to.
know, and like I say, one more thing about the spicy part. Maybe the person, maybe they reminiscing back in the boo days, the boyfriend days.
Exactly.
Maybe you used to be swinging off sandals. Maybe you looking for that. You looking for that old boyfriend. Well,
You
we
know
got to
what?
be realistic.
You gotta be
You have to.
realistic.
We evolve
Bring
and
the
we
chandelier
change.
That's
down
it.
a little
Come
bit.
on now.
Can't get up there no
Yeah,
more.
we
listen,
can,
my-
but we can't
my
bring
leg
it.
might-
You probably can't throw the leg too high. You probably can't throw the leg higher like you used to throw it.
While I'm flying,
Listen, Victoria, we can buy a chandelier and sit it on the floor, and then we can sit on top of it, but we can't hang from it no more.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So things
still- yeah.
things happen and they change, and we have to be willing. When we say for better or for worse,
That's it.
That's what we mean.
That's it.
all of those things we have to really mean that stuff. So
Yes.
I don't know what your question was. So I pulled it. I don't know particularly what your spicy was talking about, but I hope and pray that something was said to like just help
Encourage
you,
you, yeah.
encourage you to. You got to get your face out that Bible
And stop
do
waiting
practical
on
work.
him
Practical
to do
work.
the work.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to do the work first.
Yes, you have to be the
And then that will
initiator.
open up the door. That's right.
Right. Initiate. So, okay, well, we are in our half an hour, and guess what we getting ready to do? We getting ready to make so we can get a male perspective about this thing.
Come on, boo boo.
What
Come
they
on,
want to
y'all.
see and
Come
how,
on, chocolate
and how they want
latte.
to see how they want to see their wives, not how they want to see women. They want to see their wives. Let me clarify that
Listen.
right now. Okay. 2-minute break. to the marital toolbox. So you already know what our conversation was, and we got the men here in our last half an hour, and the question was, we just gonna go right into it.
All right.
Men, husbands, how can we spice it up? A question was asked, how can we keep it spicy after years of marriage? I'm gonna start with my husband,
Of course.
Kevin.
I was thinking
The
about some of
spicy.
it because we were privy to some of the stuff in the back. We could hear you ladies talking in the back. How can we keep it spiced up in marriage after umpteen years? I know a lot of us are married different years. We've been married 25 years, and I like the element of surprise.
All right.
If I can have an element of surprise, because at this
Visual.
woman right here is hard to surprise. And, she'll see and smell everything coming. Okay. But the wonderful thing about it is when I do surprise her, and it's not the big thing,
Right,
but
right.
the little thing
Right.
that I
Right.
will do to surprise her, it sort of melts her.
Yes,
If I
it
could
does.
get her to, if I can see that and get that, it make me feel like $1 million.
All right.
Yes. Right. Come on in here, man. Come
I
on
guess
in here.
you there you go. Yeah.
To keep things between us. I want to say this for us to answer the question and to help those. I think it's important that you know your spouse. Who you
Yes.
with.
That's it.
I think it was talked about last week where the women talked about knowing your spouse's love language, what it is that, in so many words, makes them tick. And when you know that, then that's really how you keep things spicy. I mean, you could throw a little, surprise, trip here, romantic dinner there, things of that sort. But for the most part, I think for us, my wife is a verbal person. She wants to hear.
Say it, baby.
They say sweet nothing. So she wants to hear that.
Sweet nothings.
So, with practice, I wasn't
Yes.
perfect.
Yes.
That's
But,
good.
with 20 years
Yes.
of us being together, I love where we at.
Ooh, tell me.
I know it's a word. I know it's a what they call worldly song, but secular song. But we are living our best life.
You better
Yes.
come on and say it.
As far as marriage is concerned, we're in a good space, and it's only getting better. But to answer that question, I really do put an effort into hearing what she says, what she wants, and I put that effort in there to keep it spicy, to keep it the
Tangy.
water boil.
Right.
When I come home, I say, hey girl.
That's it.
I'm like, yes.
Hey, girl.
And just not to get too far into it, but just over I guess a few days ago, I told her we were sitting down and we were talking. I said, I love everything about you.
Yes.
Yeah,
See?
she just,
I
yes.
love everything about you. There's nothing about you that I don't like. When I look at her, she's beautiful.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you.
But for us, for me, to keep it exciting and spicy for my wife, it is knowing what she likes and caressing that part of her to keep her excited and keep her into it with me. Now it may be different for everybody else, but you have to know that. I think it's important of knowing that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Well, well, first of all, I just want to say it's good to see everybody.
Yes.
And my wife. No, I love her to death. I love her to death,
Yeah,
and that's still now. This will be
Yeah.
our 4th anniversary. We just celebrated that, and
Ooh, y'all should have a lot to talk about.
Ooh, I know that's right.
Spicy and all.
Yeah, all right now.
No, we talking over the table.
Yeah.
We over
Because this
the
is an
table.
adult show tonight.
Yes, this is over
but
the table.
anyway, I still remember the things that I had to do to get her, and I keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I keep that
yeah.
in mind. So just flowers. She like touchy feely, and I do too. So we touchy feely. Hey, we sat down. Pillow talk.
Yeah,
those type of
that's it,
things.
that's
And
it.
it's just so exciting. It's
Yes,
just,
it is.
And we really enjoy one another.
That's
And I
good.
thank God for her. I just,
Look how he looking at you. Ooh.
We talked about
but it's I love her.
Yeah.
I love her.
Oh,
She's
wow.
God sent.
Oh wow.
What
back
more?
to that desire.
What more can
Yes,
I say?
yes.
What more can I say?
Look at her. Ooh, she getting red. Ooh. Hey, how you do that? Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think, well, hello, everyone. Good. This is good. I wanted to say, I like the element of surprise, what Ruby said, but I know one of the things that, and I just said this to her, I said it seemed like the older we got, things have gotten better.
Wow. Yes.
She
yes.
became soft.
Wow. Yes. Yes.
She
Oh,
became
look at her. You need some tissue. You see me? I just like mine.
And so, telling her this, and we just talked, we was telling her this, it helps, what we have dealt with and what keep the spice and the fire going. I think what we have been through, when you go through some things of you can't deal with the romantic part because of maybe health or situations.
Yes.
When you deal with that
Yes.
part and you have to,
Yes.
just deal with each other about
Right.
it.
Right.
I think when that time come again, it's like you have been reunited.
Wow.
Right.
Yes.
Revived again.
Yes.
It's like
Right.
the relationship
Okay.
is better
Yes.
than it ever
Yes.
been before. So the notes, that
Right.
you leave in my bag.
Right.
And I wouldn't
Right.
know until I get to the bottom of the bag or my lunch bag or something like that.
That's that work. That's that work you put in.
And you don't know until you get to the bottom. So we know what is planned for the next night.
Oh, that's
I
good.
think what has spiced this too is when we talked about the monthly going away. We made a promise to each other that
Yes, you have to.
twice a month we're going out.
Yes.
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 We're going to talk to each other because these things wasn't always prevalent for us.
Yes.
Because of what we was doing or busy or too busy, and so it kept and really
Yeah.
not just kept the spice, but it and I don't know if nobody have talked about it. It's a return of a fire in a relationship.
Yes.
And I think that was, one of the things that, and I think, we talked about in the breakfast time.
Oh yeah.
She was sleepy, right?
I was. It was a hard night that came home and I was slumped.
I'll always be planning. So I said, "What you think about this?" And so that really helps a lot. And yeah.
I like that. I think it just big. Like I said, the question that came, and so the men know it's just questions that come that was put on my page, and I just go in there and I just pull them out so I can try to just answer everybody's questions or something so we can answer them. But I think the most important thing I think we all that is saying besides is the desire, is the willingness to work. Another thing, one of the men said is we talked about that knowing each other's love language. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about it earlier. Men, what are some of the factors? You hit one of them. And we said that things change. You so happen to mention health wise. We talked about my husband. He don't look like the 25 years old. When we first got married. Things came on. Right. Things. Look. Things happen.
That's right.
I don't have long hair no more. It's
Right.
just so different things change. So when the person asked the question about the spicy, so I was really unclear what it was, whether it was bedroom spice, whether it was intimacy spice, whether it was how I'm looking at my husband's spice or looking at my wife's spice. I don't see, because a lot of times what happens in marriage too, even 25 years, I'll say this much. There was a time in our marriage where, we just was like fizzled. We was just like fizzled, and
We
so
were too. We were
it
too.
wasn't that
We
it
were
wasn't
too,
that the, it wasn't no intimacy because we had the community,
Right.
we had all the things. Because one thing we have no sex is not just the coup de grace. Because
right.
sometimes you're not gonna get that.
Come
You know what I'm
on,
saying?
for real.
And I know
That's
in
true.
our marriage, it's plenty of times. Listen, we went almost about 2 years. Because different health and complications and stuff like that. So I thank God for my husband during that process. Enduring that.
Yes.
Because not all husbands can endure that. And
Come on and
still
tell the
love
truth.
you
That's it.
and not be frustrated with you and
That's
not
it.
take care of you
That's it.
and different things and have small children and different things like that. And so we had a point in our marriage where it was just like fizzle. I think we was losing ourselves.
Yes.
We were like really, I don't know why we was losing ourselves, but we was losing ourselves, and we found ourselves going like this.
Right.
With so many factors coming
in between.
Now we got children coming in. Now we got ministry coming in. Now we got health coming in. Now we got the finances. So many so many different things was coming and playing a part, and it looked like it was just taking us like this until one day we just like. One day we asked, I don't know if he even remembered. Yeah. Honey, when the last time we had sex?
Yeah.
It just wasn't.
Right.
It just, you just
Right.
like,
It's like
Right.
you don't even
Right.
think about
Right.
it.
Right.
Son is like,
Like, wait a minute, we're supposed to be intimate.
I just want to pose a question because spice can go abroad. It can go abroad. Like we said, not just, two coming together, conversation, everything. So I just want to pose a question to the men, if that's okay.
Right.
Because sometimes we have to relate. We talked about it last week. What do the men desire? What is spice? What do spice mean to you in the relationship? We know we talked about the little notes and keeping the notes and different things like that. But what does spice mean to you?
Right.
What does spice mean to you?
What spice mean to me is still part of her, what she said. But you gotta remember, we are men.
Right.
Yeah, right,
You have
right.
to tell us,
Right, there you
show
go.
us
We
that
talked
we
about
still
that
Superman.
visual.
That's
we
it.
talked about
That's
that.
it.
Whether we look like it or not, tell me that I'm still.
Come on.
Well,
Right,
Yeah,
right.
and that's another thing. I want her to tell me, baby, still going to gym. Because I'm
Right.
doing this
Okay.
for you.
Right.
You know, that's
Okay, that's
what I
good.
want you. I want you to dress. I want her to tell me, you look good. I want to hear these things. And so that's to me.
hit on that,
That's
bro.
spice.
Listen that from a
Yo,
man's
we forget
perspective.
that.
That's what we listen from a man.
Yeah.
Right, we listen from the man.
Now that sound like something. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you get back to it. Now that sound like something we women are saying.
Exactly.
Tell me that you love me.
See?
Tell me that I look nice.
That's
but
what we
I'm just
wanted
saying,
to know.
listen it from a male perspective. For him to say, I would tell me.
Right,
Tell me
right.
I look nice.
We
and
That's
always,
good.
We always say that behind every great man is what?
A great
great
woman.
woman.
What is the woman is doing behind doors? She may not be
Wow.
always seen, but she's making her man
That's right.
great.
Wow, that's
She's
good.
making her man, and this is
That's
what
good.
happens. So if I'm down, if nobody else know it, she's gonna know it, and she's gonna encourage me. But did the spice come in at? Maybe you still got it. If nobody else,
Come
does,
on
then
now.
you still
Come
got
on
it.
now.
Like that.
All
So
right.
she's
I
like,
agree.
All right. I like that. I like that. I like
Nobody
that.
else.
You know what?
Just
You
the
know
spice.
what you said, Charles, is real. Because
Yes.
see how the women reacted. Oh wow, that's coming from a man.
Right, right.
Most women don't think we think like that.
Right.
Right,
Yes, sir.
right.
That's true.
So
Right.
on Sunday, or when we go out, or when we have some kind of function we have to do,
Yeah.
and I get it right
Yes,
and
sir.
get it ready. You know, the first thing I do, I'll come up and say, "How do I look?"
Yes,
Wow.
sure.
Wow.
He does that.
And we do it with with a little debonair
Yes.
and how we do it, try to hide. But
Yes.
we want to know
We want to know.
that we look good
Right.
and smell good.
Yes.
Right.
Because if we don't get that, now here are the pitfalls of stuff like when you don't have that kind of give and take with each other.
Relationship.
The pitfalls is I'm going to be Superman no matter what, and my vision is tunnel. If I don't have Supergirl tell me
Wow.
that I'm Superman.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm gonna save the day.
Wow.
I'm gonna
Yes.
stop the train.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna get the kids.
That's a
Right.
man.
I'm
All right
I'm
now.
gonna take the garbage out, and then I'm gonna go home and lay down beside Supergirl
Wow.
because if there's no communication, we still married. But I'm gonna lay down and go to sleep
See.
Mm.
See.
Wow.
with no instant gratitude.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what people. We all people. We all individuals.
Yeah.
We
We said we
need
are
that
human.
instant
Yes.
gratitude.
Wow.
Who's
We
going
do.
to tell us?
You know who's
Wow.
going to tell us?
Remind me how my day was.
Yeah, and so
Wow.
for me, I think I'm the one that initiates and say stuff. If I don't
does,
smell a
he
smell
does.
that I like to smell, what happened to the?
That's me.
You sure would.
Yes, you would.
He'd be like, honey, he'd be like,
That's
honey,
what
where's that smell at?
And it don't make me no less than a man. See,
Yes,
most
right.
women will say it's
he
time to change the
does.
sheets. But
Right.
my thing will be like, I don't want these sheets on here. And my wife will say, well, I said, well, there's something, something I don't like about it. See, I might be in the
Change
mood
them.
to sleep a different way.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's
We understand.
I like,
Uh-oh.
Who wanna go?
Oh, it don't. Oh.
before, I want to hit on a few points, and then I'll get my take. I like my brother Charles. I like what Kevin said. The one thing that I learned being married. Well, let me put it this way to make a long story short. Marriage taught me, and it brought out of me what I wasn't saying. So for a long time, and we got married. I got married young. We got married young. I was young. I'm younger than her. But mentally, to a point, I was mature enough to handle marriage. But there are points that need to be brought out. So she's verbal, as I said. She was verbal, very talkative. Come on, let's talk. Come on, let's have a conversation. Come on, say this. Come on, say that. And I'm. No, I'm not about to say that. And not even to the point of just flat out pure feelings about how I felt, whether or not she made me mad, whether or not I did whatever. And so now to get that when Charles says, "Hey, tell me." And I like, to hear my wife say, you look. Sometimes you say it and to keep my esteem up, even when I don't have no haircut and faces
That's
scruffy
right. You
or
mad.
whatever.
You
And
mad.
I'm like, I know you won't believe that I look good right now.
Please. Yes, I do.
Faces all scruffy, no.
I like that.
And so I have grown accustomed of, not dependent, but I've grown accustomed of my wife saying to me, you look like or whatever, and so that gives you a boost of but it brings that I enjoy that for me. And she can tell you as far as how I don't want to go too far.
Go ahead, say it, baby.
But I'm easy. I'm rich and really good.
Yes.
Listen, I don't need, and
You get it quicker when it's easy.
And get it better.
I believe I am too.
Some men may.
You're not alone, brother. You're not
Whatever,
alone.
but you can come with nothing, and I'm ready to go. So I mean, man, you ain't got to listen, hey. And so just as something simple as that, but that's on that side.
Get it hot in here.
But just emotionally and talking wise, I want to say this because this is just to help people. We may not, I guess, hit everything, but just to say this, it is important for everybody to be heard.
Yes.
That is what I've learned in our 20 years. It is important for everybody to be heard. It can't just be one person being heard all the time, and you leave the person out in the cold. And then when, as Kevin was saying, because if you don't stroke Yes.
Somebody, and not that
talked
it's
about
any
that earlier,
excuse,
too.
That's it.
but somebody will
Yes, they
come
will.
up.
Somebody in that office saying, "You look good today."
Yeah.
Right.
It's a nice shirt you got
Oh,
on.
you better. Oh,
Right.
they doing it for real, for real. That's on the job for
Right.
real.
I like that tie you got on.
Yeah.
Right.
I do too. I picked it out.
What you say?
Come on, Mike.
Yes, because well, I'm always, like when I come in from work, hey, how was work today? What you do today at work. We talk about that, and we, after we finish talking about that, we always have some, other pillow talk stuff we do, and sometimes when we go shopping, I look at the shirt. I said, I like this shirt. I said, well, wait a minute, let me go see.
Yes.
And then I go to her, go to my wife. I said, you like this shirt? And she said, yes. She said, I think you look good in it. And I wear it all the time.
So that's a shirt. So you know it's going down.
We enjoy one another. And a while back, I have to say this.
5 minutes.
When we first got together, okay, we was actually at each other's throat. We was at each other's throat, but that's just our ways, But God brought us together, and ooh,
That's that shirt.
this is the best thing.
Wow.
I love her.
Wow.
I love her to death.
That's
Now,
good.
Control, we got 5 minutes. I'm going to ask this question in just in 1 minute. Just give me one word. Just one word. Spice in a marriage. And I'm going to start and I'm going to say my word. Be open. And when y'all know what I talk about, what we talked about earlier about being open, we're not talking about nothing crazy, but just being open, figuring out, try to find out what it is that maybe something is lacking. Being open to change, because you can get stuck in a rut for so long and so many years till, well, this is how we've been doing it and this is how we're going to do it. Okay, 1 minute, one word.
I would say, in the same sense, compromising, flexible.
To mind flexible.
I would say desire and communication.
Good. Spontaneous combustion.
That would be my brother. That would be my brother.
Communication.
Communication.
I was gonna say communication too, but I'm saying since he said communication because we're on the same page, I'll say consensual.
Consensual.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
good.
I would say embrace.
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 That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Embrace.
I love embrace. I love the
Embrace.
cuddle. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
it when his arm is around.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's another
Don't
one.
let him put that hand
That's
in
a-
the small of that back.
That's
Hey,
another one.
you know what? Listen, Lauryn Hill got a song. Lauryn Hill got a song. Strumming my pain with his fingers. See, that's it.
We have a couple of minutes, and I just want to just say thank you.
Yes.
Now, I don't know. I want to tell a person. I did reach out to them. I don't know if we answered the question with the spice because I wasn't clear on what spice you was talking about. But I pray that whatever areas we hit some areas of that spice. Okay. But we just want to say thank you for joining us in the marital toolbox. We're on Tuesdays at 6 p.m.
Yes.
Please come and join. I promise you, it's not rigid. I promise you, we're talking about everything that needs to be talked about and how it's supposed to be talked about. Submit your questions to any of our pages and we will put it in a pool and we will pull it out. So check us out because we might be answering your questions. Okay?
All right.